they are prolonging the drama, and I am not here for it. I just wanted this book to be over. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Sinag and welcome to a new reading vlog. I just realized that I have a lot of books in my TBR that consists of foods, or all about food, all about baking, and anything that relates to food. I assume that these books will be fun to read, and I don't know why, but I think because for me personally, food are comfort, or my sense of comfort. Right now, actually, I'm currently reading Mangoes and Mistletoe by Adriana Herrera, and that book is what actually inspired me to create this reading vlog, because so far I'm still in chapter 1, but I'm really enjoying it. There is this show wherein it's a holiday baking challenge, and in this one, there are pairs. I don't know if I'm selling it well, but there are pairs. One is a professional chef paired with a self-taught home cook, and they're basically doing the challenge together. And so I think it's very interesting, and I'm liking it so far. And Adriana Herrera's writing style is very easy to read for me. I'm flying through with it, and so so I just wanted to vlog my experience through it, and I'm going to try to be not say any spoilers, or spoiler free kumbaga. I finished reading Mangoes and Mistletoe by Adriana Herrera, and the thing is, so I'm going to tell first what this is all about. So we have two main characters here, Kikeya and Sally. This is basically a professional chef ex self-taught home cook, and they are both joining, or they are paired for this holiday baking contest. Sally is kind of a cool girl. She's basically in here to enjoy her life and to get some funds for her to be able to start her own business. Kaya, on the other hand, is a professional chef, and she is the grumpy one. So this is kind of grump ex schoolgirl trope. This book, or at least Kikeya, our main character, made me rethink whether if I really like grumpy characters in my book or in my romance. And I just realized that there are two kinds of characters, or grumpy characters, that I've encountered. The first one is grumpy, but they are grumpy because they just want other people to mind their own business. And then there are grumpy characters like Ikea, wherein they are just plain rude and kind of have an asshole behavior. And what I realize is I don't like the second type, that second one. And Kikeya, our main character, is definitely that kind of grumpy character. And to be honest with you, I really dreaded reading about her, because she's very rude towards Sally, and not just Sally, but to the other contestants as well, who treated her like her friend. And I know that she has some baggage that she's carrying, but that doesn't excuse your rude and very disrespectful attitude towards others, which we can see in the last second second to the last chapter in this book, or during the last contest with Sally. Anyway, so she annoyed me, and then for me personally, the progression of the relationship, because they started as Sally kind of chasing Kikeya, because Kikeya is the grumpy one, but then at the middle part, the flip, or the transition from being kind of a push pull relationship or dynamics between the two was very jarring for me. Like it happened so fast. Timeline of this book and the challenge is only 1 week, and I don't believe that our main characters, especially Kikeya, will change or can change her attitude and her perspective in life in just a week. Adding to that, their relationship, I don't think that you can completely change that in just a week. Like the flipping from being from the push-pull dynamic and kind of a little bit of hate to love, but not really, to a complete falling head over heels towards each other was not very realistic for me. I want Kikeya to grovel more because the ending for Kikeya wasn't earned because we did not see her really work towards it. And Sally for me naman is very like 50-50, like she's just there. Since we are talking about a relationship, and in this one the relationship is composed of two people, so both of them should work towards the relationship. But for me personally, I only see Sally to be the one who's really worked hard for them, for their end point or for their relationship. And Kike, I think, was not able to do that. And I think it's either this book should have been longer, like we get to see Kikeya grovel more, or Kikeya were not written this way. I don't know if that makes sense, but if the author probably did not make Kikeya a 100% asshole or 100% rude to other people, then maybe I can get along with it. But since Kikeya was presented as very grumpy and very rude at the very beginning, it's hard for me to believe that in just a week she was able to learn, or she was able to lower down her guard just because Sally has great boobs based on her internal monologues, since she's always kind of looking at Sally's boob. Anyway, still don't know what to rate this book, but going between 2 or 3 stars. Since this one is very short and there's nothing much that happened in the plot, the characters are the aspects or the main aspects in here that is carrying the story. So and Kikeya is and so anyway, but if I were to say something naman regarding the food aspect in this book, I just love reading about food, like any food, like just a mention of food. And so since this one they are doing a contest, so they are part of a contest, so they are always making food, though for the most part I don't get the words that are being used. I have a degree that's related to cooking food, something like that, and I still am confused. I still am confused on, or maybe I think it's because I am not that familiar with the foods that are presented in here, since Kikeya and Sally's dish or cuisines were based mostly from the cuisines in the Dominican Republic, and then the other contestants like the fusion of Central America and Japanese, and then many more. And so maybe that made me confused because I am not well versed, or I am not well versed on the foods or the cuisines that are from other cultures except from here in the Philippines, because that's what I'm most familiar with. Anyway, but so far, based from the description of the food and how they how they cook it or how they bake it. It sounds so yummy and I just wanted to taste, and just imagining those makes me want to eat. And I still don't know what to rate it, but it's between 2 or 3. So you can check my Goodreads profile or Goodreads review of this book to see my final rating. So anyway, that's my update for right now. Hello everyone, so I am in the around 50% mark of Didn't Mean to Love You by Christina C. Jones. This one is about Vivian and Carter. So Vivian is actually a chocolate shop owner, and she makes chocolates, and that's when Carter is her neighborhood barber. Their business are kind of neighboring each other as well as their apartment. So they are basically, this is kind of a neighbor romance with a bit of a FUBU. This is like the typical I want her but I can't have her, because this one started with what do you call her, Vivian or Viv, just found out that her then boyfriend, now ex-boyfriend, already has a fiance, and she found out through Instagram, and Carter actually like hers na. And then during what happened throughout this entire story so far, Carter is already falling in love with Vivian, and Vivian is already falling in love with him as well, because they, what do you call this, they started a fuck buddy relationship, and that, or friends with benefits relationship, and that's what started their mutual falling in love with each other thing. And so we got to this point where Vivian admitted to Carter that she is falling in love with him, and then his reply is that he didn't ask for her heart, because at the first, because their situation was clearly just pure on sexual relationship. And so the thing that irritates me is that first, before Vivian what do you call this, tell Carter about her feelings, she tells her friends Simone and Eddie about it. Like, she wanted to ask Carter what their situation is all about. She wanted to be upfront with him because she's falling in love with him, and she wants to know where are the both of them in their relationship, like what's going on. And so her friends is annoying in this one, in a way that they discouraged her to do that. Like, she is the one who's wanting to put a label on it and bridge the gap, kumbaga, but her friends is the one that's discouraging her, and I don't think that's realistic. And to be honest, it feels like they don't care for her in general and for her happiness, because if they were really friends of her, why would they not want her to be in a healthy, committed relationship? Carter, as we know, is the one who fall in love with Vivian, and now he is rejecting her, and he's making her feel like shit because of that. But I don't know, to be honest with you, the book could have ended after that. Like, if Carter just admitted that he is falling in love with Viv as well, then we can get a very cute and fluffy scenes after that, and then the book would be over, and I would not be here ranting to you about this one. So I don't know, but right now I'm annoyed and I'm upset because this book started out great, but right now I don't know, they are prolonging the drama, and I am not here for it. I just wanted this book to be over and for them to get their shit together and finally communicate well, especially Carter, because Vivian is the one who is what they call this, who is opening herself for communication, and who is going out her way to express her feelings and basically have an open communication with Carter. I'm really annoyed, but I hope I can finish this already. So I finished this book last night, right after I gave you the halfway point update, because I just want this to be done through, and I wasn't able to to update you after reading the book immediately last night, because I just don't want to relive what I read anymore, because this is not good. This book I give 2 stars, and it's really frustrating to me. It didn't go well. I was expecting good things, but it didn't live up to that, and the only reasonable and logical person in this book is Vivian. The others are just plain annoying, and they frustrates me a lot. And anyway, I didn't enjoy reading this book. Food aspect in this one was not really the front and center thing in this book, but I enjoyed reading some of Vivian's process in doing her chocolates, and in planning or preparing or experimenting on the different ingredients that she's going to use for her chocolates. Other than that, the other characters are just, it's a no for me. So anyway, after reading that book, I continued reading, because I have started reading Fake It Till You Bake It alongside this one. But yeah, so I just continue reading this, and actually I am now in the 30% mark or 37% mark of it, and it's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. So basically, this one naman is about Jada and Donovan. So Donovan is actually a football player, and he is also one of the business owners of the Sugar Blitz. So Sugar Blitz is a cupcake shop owned by 3 football players. He is actually dealing with lack of sales or slow sales when it comes to that. So Jada is actually a reality show contestant, and she gets viral because of what happened in the finale of that reality show. So if you wanted to know what happened, then you just go read the book, because so far I'm really enjoying it. This is kind of a small spoiler, but we get to see this very early on. I think it's in the 20% mark, but we get to know that the football team that Donovan is a part of is owned by Jada's grandmother, and Jada's grandmother gave her an ultimatum that she won't get her trust fund unless she stays in a job for 6 months, because her grandmother was concerned with regard to her commitment issues. They actually had a kind of a hate to love thing, because their meet cute is very hateful, because Donovan was actually having a bad day, and Jada critiques the ambience of the place and the cupcakes. They have a rough start, but so that's their first meeting, and when they meet each other again with Jada's grandmother, they were so shocked. But so far I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the baking aspect in this one, and reading about Jada and Donovan's interaction. So this one actually has a fake dating aspect in it. The reason why they fake the date is kind of dumb, because Jada was forced by this paparazzi on spilling about her reality show thing. So the catalyst of their fake dating is just annoying for me, and Jada kind of violates Donovan's personal life, and I really don't enjoy that. But so far the writing style really saved me with this, and their interaction and Donovan's acceptance, or Donovan's reaction after that makes up for it, I think. But I don't know, I'm still early on in their fake dating gig, so we'll see what will happen next. But so far I'm really annoyed by this I don't like famous people in book, and I don't like paparazzis in book. I don't like anybody trying to um expose private and personal life of other people to the world or to the public. And so that one infuriates me, but it's not the fault of the author, I think it's just I think that thing or trope, I don't know if it is a trope, but that thing in a book really just infuriates me. But anyway, this one was very well written. I finished reading Fake It Till You Bake It. I'm going to dive in with this spoiler, so since I cannot talk about the second half of this book and why I gave it 4 stars without telling you what happened in the story, so it definitely will be a spoiler. So if you don't want to read the spoiler part, what I'm going to say is I gave this book 4 stars and I still recommend it to like reading fake dating. Let's now go to the spoiler. So I'm confused because the third act conflict in this one is so annoying, and it didn't live up to their character. So Jada was the last or the final contestant in the reality show that is very bachelor like. So I haven't watched that. I don't like watching reality shows. So but it is compared to that. So she rejected the proposal made by the bachelor like contestant Dr. Jan. And in this one, the third act conflict, we've seen the producer Lila and Dr. Jan blackmailing Jada because Lila assumed, which is kind of right in it, that the relationship is not real and it was basically a lie and basically a fake one. So she blackmails Jada that she will expose her lies unless she agrees to do another reality show kind of thing with either Jan or Donovan. I like what Jada did in response to that, like their confrontation. However, after that scene, after she assert herself that she won't be pushed around and she won't tolerate blackmail from these people, it's so dumb. It's not entirely her fault because Donovan agrees to their situation, but Jada said that she don't want to be because before this happened, before the confrontation and the blackmailing happens, they admitted to each other that they like each other. However, I thought that they agreed that they're going to do the real thing, like they are going to be dating for real. But then the next chapter after that, they're still confused if they are still dating or what. And I thought that they are already dating because they talk about it in the previous chapter. And so it's confusing for me. I don't know if they are really dating for real or they just know that they like each other, but they're still continuing the rules of the fake dating aspect, which I think is no longer fake dating because they know that they like each other and they are doing dating stuff. So for me, from what I can see, from what everyone can see, they are already dating, but in their delusion, in both of their minds, they're still not. So I don't know, it's so confusing. And then after the blackmail, Lila said that they should stop being together and fake dating, and it's confusing for me because her reasoning is dumb, because you can do life stuff while also having a relationship. And the fact that both of them complement each other is, I think, both of them being together helps them as individuals. But because of what they did, I don't know, they are confusing because Donovan also accepted that, like he didn't even fight for it. So, and what irritates me is because there's no reason for this. Like, they already have the connection, they already know that they love each other, and so why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I think the first thing I thought that the third act conflict is that the blackmailing part, and so I was okay with it because I know that Jada will take care of herself, and I loved how she dealt with the situation. But then after that blackmailing thing, and she told Donovan that they're going to split up, I was confused because what's the purpose of it? Because it's, I think, this third to the last chapter in the books, and so I don't know why do we still need to do that. And aside from that, they are best when they are together. Like, as individual, they are they were able to flourish more with the help of each other for me. And it's not because they are being dependent with each other, it's because I think they complement each other well, that they were able to influence the other in a good way, influence them to be better and to do better and to be open-minded and not to inside the box, or not to, and to explore outside their comfort zone, something like that. And so I am confused, why do we need to have this on and off, hot and cold situation between them, and why every one of us, even the side characters, and even Mr. Till, who is the regular, knows and can see that they are already dating together. And so why are they doing this to themselves? And so and for me personally, that last few chapters containing that part made me not enjoy the book, because so far I'm really enjoying it a lot. For me personally, okay, the start of this book is kind of a meh for me. Like, it's okay, but I'm not really hooked that much. Then the middle part, the entire middle part is very good for me. I love the middle. And then the last part is like disappointing for me, because I wished they got their shit together. But I still give this 4 stars because this has a lot of potential. I think this will be loved by other readers who don't mind that annoying third act conflict. But this is very entertaining to read. I still hate people who works on reality show, like producers, and I'm not generalizing everybody in that field, at least in books, but most of the time those people are very vindictive and very cunning, and I don't like interacting, or I don't like reading about them. I don't like reading how they blackmails other people, because that's basically it. Most usually, based from what I've read, people who works on reality show here in books, most of the time blackmails the characters or the people in their show, or they paint them in a bad light, and I'm not here for it. I don't like that. I don't like them. I don't like them. So anyway, I'm still recommending this one. This is a very good read and very cozy read. I enjoyed reading about the different foods and the different flavors of cupcake. I always felt like I am craving for cupcakes whenever I read this book. So, wait, before we end this, I just wanted to talk about Jada's impulsiveness. So, she's very unprofessional and impulsive as well. And the thing is, relationship-wise, her connection or her chemistry with Donovan is very on point, and I loved it. I admire it and I appreciate it, and I am rooting for them. However, Yada as a professional, or as a career woman, is so annoying to read, because she's very unprofessional and impulsive, and she had a lot of times in here where she decides more than the actual business owners, and for me that's so infuriating, especially because we know that the shop, or the cupcake shop, was Donovan's kind of dream, and he basically, and I know he's very controlling on his part, which is, I think, very good for someone who is a business owner, because that's it. You don't want to be a wishy-washy kind of person when you are growing a business. And so I admire his steadfastness and being very logical whenever it comes to the business side of things. And so Jada always, because Jada is an impulsive and unprofessional person, she always tends to do whatever she pleases with regard to the shop, without consulting or asking for permission to either of the three business owners. And so it's annoying for me to read, because that's so for me, I want what do you call this? I want Donovan to fire her, or talk to her about her unprofessionalism. And I don't like how he deals with her, because he always he's kind of enabling her. He doesn't she doesn't take accountability, because he never asked it. He's always covering up for her. So that's the only dynamic between them that I don't like, is that Jada is very reckless and impulsive without care on other people, and it is never we never show her growth because of the last thing in here, because they part ways, so we don't get to see Jada and her growth, because of course, since this is the end na, so we only get to see them reconciliating, and then we never get to see how she really improves. And Donovan is very always on her side, not asking for accountability and covering up for her, and I don't think that's a healthy dynamics between the two of them. So everything between them other than that is okay, but that dynamic doesn't sit well with me. So that's my critique for the both of them. But I'm excited to read naman the second book in this one, and I think it will features August and Sloane, Donovan's younger sister, because we get to have hints of them together, or hints of them having a past together. So yeah, I'm excited about August and Nicholas's own books, and I would definitely read more from the author and read more from this series, because this I think will be a trilogy. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that, and this is a very fun reads, and I really enjoy this one, especially now that I think about it. The first two books that we've read in this reading vlog are 2 stars, if I remember correctly, and this is the first 4-star. So this is going to be the end of this video, and let's have our final thoughts. For me, I'm still going to read more from this trope or thing in books, where food and chefs and bakers are the main characters or main focus in the novel, or not necessarily the main focus, but is a part of this story, because I just enjoy reading about food and creating food, making food. And yes, so I'm going to stop with these 3 books na. So even though we have two 2-star reads and 1 4-star read, I can still say that this is a successful video just because I was able to finish those 3. And I think for me personally, I was able to expound my thoughts and was able to translate my thoughts well into words. And yeah, so that's already a success for me. And I would still love to read, of course, I would still read more books that has a food element in it. But I don't know if I'm going to do another reading vlog. But let's see in the future what will happen. But for now, I still enjoyed doing this, and I feel like my reviewing style, at least verbally, is improving. So anyway, my next goal might be how to be concise and basically incorporate brevity into my verbal reviewing style, because I realize that I talk a lot, and sometimes I go into tangents, and it results to me editing an hour-long raw footage or raw clips, and I don't want to have a feature length film kinda reading vlog. And so that's my next goal naman. But otherwise, I think my reviewing style or my or how I review books are very are improving, and I'm slowly getting in there. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's all for me for this video na. And I hope to see you soon again in my future videos to come. And yes, that's all for me. Have a good day. Bye-bye.